One. Hello. Good evening, everybody. We should be live right now. Let me see if there's. Let me try to see if there's a problem here. Oh, okay. Hello. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey, good evening, everybody. Um, yeah, looks like we're good. We're good. Sorry, guys. I'm still figuring this out. And let's make sure I have comments here. Okay, hello, Holly. Hello, Anna. Hello. Oh, hello, Nids, Nieva, Aponi. You're waiting, and now we're gonna get started. June. Hello, um, Anna, Holly. Good evening. Good evening, Mary Grace. Thank you for joining us. Merly, Jane. Thank you so much for joining this Friday evening. Today we're going to talk about how you transition from office work into online freelancing. So, a very exciting topic, and there will be no replays for the session, by the way. So you better take notes. There's not going to be a replay. There will be a replay for VA bootcamp students only. Okay, so if you're a student, then you're going to have access to the replay. But for everyone else, sorry, you won't. There are no replays. So get your pen and paper, start taking notes. All right, let's give a couple of minutes for people to arrive. Mary Grace, hello, good evening. And what I want you guys to do is say hello, introduce yourselves, and tell me where you're from, as well as answer this question: are you currently working full time? Are you freelancing? Just let me know. Let me know in the comments. What is your current status? Are you working? Are you freelancing? And so on. Okay. So let me know. Okay. Let's see who else is here. Merly Jane. Hello. Aponi. Well, I already said hi. Margie, Lachelle, June, Dale, Amoninai. That's a bit hard. Pinky, Beth, JCM, Cesar, Diana, Eileen. Oh, we've got a lot of people here. Anna, April, Joy, Cheryl, Anna, Maria, Azil, Christine. Yeah, Holly said, ayos ang gimmicken natin tonight. So this is our gimmick: attending webinars, learning new things, and preparing to transition from office work into freelancing. So this is your guys' gimmick. Tay Rizal. Freelancing QC. Let me know, are you, and because I just want to know where you guys are right now. Okay, so are you currently freelancing? Are you currently, still, maybe you're working full time, maybe you're doing freelancing part time? Let me know in the comments. All right, let me know in the comments. What is your current status? We have working full time in a bank 10 years. Anna, it's complicated. Eileen, working mom. Christine, 16 years BPO. Joanne, freelancer from Davao. Hello. June, status corporate slave. The Shell, talent employee from TV5. Oh, nice, Jane. Congratulations. You're finally a full-time freelancer. I know you've been in between for a while now. Erez, architect by profession, working full-time. OFW in Macau. Okay. Freelancing, nice. Jen, full freelancer. Full-time sales admin. Mary Jane from Layton, no work. Okay. Let's see. Daycare teacher. Let me make sure I get my. I'm gonna share my screen here because I do have a PowerPoint presentation. Let me know if you can see this. Okay, let me know in the comments if you can see the PowerPoint presentation. Working full time, still in the office. Freelancing, April. Currently a VA bootcamp student, Diana. Trying to start part time. Mads, full time government employee. Maria from Cebu. Hello, Cebu. Yes, go Cebu. Full-time mom. Azil, we've got full-time office-based. Okay. So most of you guys, and I won't read everybody because we're gonna run out of time just reading everyone's comments. So it seems that most of you guys are currently working full-time. working full-time. We have a number of freelancers, but most of the people attending today have some full-time work, right? Okay, and that's perfect. So this webinar, this session is perfect for you because we're going to talk about how you can transition from where you are right now and to go into online freelancing. And well, you're attending this session because you're interested in online freelancing. I'm assuming that's so. Well, okay, so let's go on with the presentation. Now, before we really get started, I want to ask you, what do you expect to learn from this session? All right? What are your expectations? And you know, maybe you're, a lot of you guys, maybe you're thinking of leaving your job, right? You're thinking of leaving your job. Let me know why you're attending this. Why are you attending this session? Why are you watching this? Are you just curious about freelancing? What do you want to learn so that I can make sure that at least I'll try to meet your expectations. Okay, so what are you planning to learn in this session? Okay, we have Anna, BPO 10 years, or just started learning how to be a home-based freelancer. Michaela, full-time caregiver, Taiwan. Anna, full-time grocer and mom. Carol, full-time pharmacist. Camille, full-time mom. And Annie, full-time mom. So we have full-time moms. We have people who are working full-time. We have some freelancers with us, but most of you guys are working. So yeah, please answer this question. Why are you attending this? What do you want to get out? Okay, what do you want to get out of this session? So by 10 o'clock, what is it that you want to get out? Okay, basically, what is the reason that you joined this? I just want to gather your expectations so that we are on the same page. We have an understanding together of where we are. Okay, how to start my profile. Okay, and I'm just gonna write this here. As you can see, I'm typing at the same time that you guys are answering this question, because I want to write everything here and I'll go over them in a bit. But yeah, please answer this question. I'll give you a few minutes for this, okay, to help my husband financially. And you know what you want to learn today. Okay, how to work online, right? Okay, perfect time for me. Since you'll be leaving the corporate, well, yes, this is perfect for you actually, Jane. What freelancing is all about. Okay, let's see. Keep going with your expectations. And I'm drinking some coffee here late at night, cold brew coffee, of course. Okay, realistic timeline target to transition. That's good. How it works. So what freelancing is about, how to work online. It's the same. Scared with no background. Margie. You want to know if freelancing is for you? Good. Is freelancing for me? Career while taking care of kids. I want to bring my freelance career, freelancing to the next level. Let's see. Okay. I'll get a few more from you guys. Let's see. What else do we have here? And if you notice, there's a delay between the comments and the video. There's probably a 5 to 10 second delay between that. Okay, you want to, okay, well, you're making a career shift, right? Okay. We already have like how to make, okay, well, I'll just type that, attractive profile. All right. It looks like we have a good number of expectations for this session. If you have some more that you want to add, just type them. But I'm going to go over this. Okay. So a number of these things, let me just move these here. For example, we have the attractive profile. I'll just move a couple of these things together. How to work online, what freelancing is all about. Is freelancing for me? Okay. All right, I'm just going to categorize these here. I'm putting them together to categorize them. Okay, here we go. So up on top, we have here how to start my profile, how to create an attractive profile to help my husband financially. Well, this is more of what probably you expect from yourself, this one here, right? I'm going to bold that. How to work online, what freelancing is about. career while taking care of kids. Okay, this is expectation from yourself, right? And we have here freelancing to the next level. So these things, because today we're talking more about how you can make the transition. Okay? We won't talk about freelancing in the general freelancing. If you want to learn more about freelancing by itself, like what is freelancing and how you can get started, check out our freevacourse.com. Okay, check out. I'll just type it here: freevacourse.com. freevacourse.com. There we go. freevacourse.com. It's a 5-day free course which will guide you and teach you the basics of how to get started with freelancing. Taking your freelancing to the next level, that's more of the advanced stuff. This is more for those that are still making that transition. So Bobby, you're in at more of the advanced level, but you're still welcome here. Don't worry. And if you don't know about freelancing, you're still welcome here as well. Okay. Can start without experience. Let's see here. How to transition without sacrificing currently high salary. Yes, we're gonna cover that. Oh, nice. I like this one. RA. Let me just copy and paste this here. Oh, the H didn't get copied. Guidelines for transitions. Yeah. So the stuff at the bottom: realistic timeline, target for transition. Is freelancing for me? Making that career shift. How to transition without sacrificing high salary. The guidelines for transition, like Diana said here, these are things that we're going to cover today. These are things that we're going to focus on in this session because we're talking about the transition, making that change. So if you want to learn more about like what is freelancing, check out our freevacourse.com. Okay, but today we're going to talk about that shift. But even if you don't know about freelancing yet, you're still welcome to this. Because you're probably interested in freelancing because you want to make the change, right? Because you want to shift from working in an office to online freelancing. Niche pays the highest. Okay. Nice. Okay, he's going over here. All right, yeah, escape from corporate slavery. That's what we want to do, and that's what I want to help Filipinos with and help you guys with. So here's what we're discussing today. Okay, here's our basic overview of what we're discussing. We're going to take a deeper look into our whys. Why are you here? Why are you thinking about going into freelancing? Why are you thinking about leaving your office job? For most of you are doing office jobs, or leaving your OFW jobs, since a lot of you are OFWs as well. Finding out whether or not freelancing is for you. Okay, we're going to talk about that today. One of you guys mentioned that earlier. We're definitely going to cover that. The things to prepare to transition into freelancing. That's also one of your expectations. What to do if you're not fully prepared. Like if you don't have everything 100%, I'm also going to help you with some guidelines. I'm going to adjust my camera here a bit because you can't see the top of my head. I'm going to give you some guidelines on what you can do as well if you're not fully prepared, and some best practices switching when you're making that shift from working in an office to working online. All right, so this is what we're covering today. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer the real important questions. And this is more about you, because you're the one, you want to make the shift. You have reasons for making the shift from office work to working online. And this is not so much about like me, I'm just guiding you here. This is going to be about you, all right? So why are you considering the switch? Okay. So I just want you to think right now, why is it that you're considering the switch? Why are you planning to make that transition? And I'm going to copy like some of the answers earlier. Help husband with finances, and somebody mentioned working while taking care of kids. How about other guys? Why are you considering the switch? What are the reasons that you want to leave your job? Okay, what are the reasons why you want to leave your job? Let's not focus yet on the rewards of freelancing, but I want you to think and come up with the reasons. Why are you unhappy? Right? Because you wouldn't be trying to switch if you were happy. So why are you unhappy with your current situation? Why do you want to leave, right? Because you're probably looking for something better. You're looking for something different. But why? What's driving you to make the change? What about your current job is driving you to make the change? Oh, Charis, good. I'm glad you got the video back. Jackie, interesting. I'm glad you find this interesting. Yeah, so please answer this question. What about your current situation is it that's causing you to leave? Okay. Oh, traffic. Okay, traffic, time with kids, more time with family, freedom of time, avoid long travel, I guess it's traffic, high stress. Traffic, again, like traffic's come up at least 3 times now. Office politics, okay, the pay, policies, the pay, okay, care of kids, inconsiderate boss. All right, okay, so we have some really good reasons here. And the reason that you put, I asked, oh, well, if you came in late, I asked the people earlier to have a pen and paper. Once again, there are no replays unless you're a VA bootcamp student, then you will have a replay. But if you are not a student, there are no replays. So have a pen and paper, and I want you to do this, okay? I want you to write this down, okay? I want you to write down, why are you considering the switch? And these are the common reasons that you mentioned. Traffic, so many people mentioned traffic, more time with family, freedom of time, high stress, there's office politics, the pay is low in your current job, and you have an inconsiderate boss. Okay, and these are all valid reasons. These are all valid reasons that can actually be solved with freelancing, right? So let's move on to the next slide here. And why do you think freelancing is a better option? What about freelancing is there that you think? And I'm just going to read the other reasons here. High sales targets, that's very stressful. I've experienced that as well. Okay, more time with kids, I'd say. Control of income and cash flow. Cecile, to go back to home country, be able to return to PH. Wala nang boss. No more boss. Career growth. Okay, good reasons here. Career growth. Okay. Jennifer, why you want to leave? My potential challenge. Challenging yourself. You've been in the BPO for 6 years. You don't want to. You don't want the overtime and the stress of a higher post. I really very much understand. I've really been there. You'll have more time with family, work-life balance. All right, great reasons, guys, here. And these are very valid reasons, and these are things that are true about freelancing. You know, with freelancing, you can have more time with your kids. You can have more control of your income and cash flow. You would be able to work and return to the Philippines and even be able to earn in dollars. When I was in Singapore, I was earning in Singaporean dollars. Now I'm earning in a lot more than when I came back. I was earning in US dollars, and I earned a lot more working as a freelancer in the Philippines than when I was in Singapore. So that worked out for me. No more boss. You are your own boss, essentially. You don't have another boss looking over your shoulder. You're going to be looking over your shoulder. Career growth, there is, I'd say, unlimited career growth, not just in your career, but if you want to start a business, there are so many opportunities that online freelancing can provide for you. Time with your family, same more time with kids. You can have a work-life balance, especially if you don't have the traffic to deal with anymore. Additional skills, right? You can, Jane, Aponi, you're looking to grow your skills. You're looking for your own, I'm going to write that down, personal development, right? Development. You're looking, okay, I can't spell properly. There's space. You're looking at your own personal development, which is very important in being happy, right? being happy with yourself. Rather than working in an office, a lot of times we feel bored because there's no growth at all. There's no personal growth. Freedom from anything. All right. Lisa Austria, it is open to senior citizens. And we'll go over that a bit, but there is an opportunity for senior citizens. It might be harder if you're not very proficient with computers, but I'd say that there is a great opportunity still for senior citizens, okay? All right. Going back here. So the big why, and we answered this earlier, why you wanted to shift, why you wanted to make the shift. And what I want you to do, if you're taking notes, I want you to just write on your piece of paper, what's the number one reason, the number one biggest reason why you want to leave your current situation, office work, OFW, and move into freelancing? What's the single biggest reason? And most of you guys earlier, one thing I noticed is that most of you, it wasn't even the money. Because we see a lot of freelancers, we see it being talked about a lot, that you can earn 100,000, you can earn 50,000 pesos, you can earn a lot of money. But I only saw like one or two comments that commented about the money, that commented about the pay. And I think that is very significant, because the reasons why are because of family, because of personal growth. Because you don't like dealing with your boss or traffic, or you want more time, right? So I want you to just focus on that one reason. And you should go back to this reason, because you're going to face challenges as you make the shift. You're going to face difficulties. So as you move on into your freelancing career, remember your biggest why. Always remember your biggest why. So here, Deborah, single biggest reason, for example, to take care of your baby. And just keep that in mind all the time. Okay, so let's go over freelancing versus corporate work, or versus office work here for a bit. Oh, where's my mouse? My mouse disappeared. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Freelancing versus corporate work. Right. So in freelancing, a lot of you guys said there's freedom of time, right? And you can also contribute here. Just type in the comments. How to overcome fear. Well, let me copy and paste this. Okay, I'll answer this either in a separate session or today if we have time. Okay, June. Let me just copy and paste this into my notes here. All right. Okay. So freedom of time, corporate work, you're stuck in a specific shift. In corporate work, you have to deal with boss and politics, right? With freelancing, you are your own boss. You work from home, and you have more time with family. In office work, a lot of time in office work, you are stuck in traffic, right? Especially if you're in Metro Manila. I hate going to Manila because of the traffic, but Cebu is also getting pretty bad, actually. In freelancing, there are a lot of growth opportunities, right? Opportunities for your personal development, earning opportunities. In corporate work, you often get stuck in your growth or in your position, right? So just going over the differences here between freelancing and corporate work. Flexible hours, no bad boss, colleagues, right. You are your own boss. So if you have a bad boss, then you're just gonna blame yourself, right? If you say your boss is bad, then it's just you when it comes to freelancing. And yeah, I'm really interested to become a freelancer. Yeah, watch this session and go to get our free course as well, which I'll go back. Lizelle, yeah, get out of a stagnant, boring job. I know that experience as well. Okay, so this question was asked earlier. Is freelancing for me, or is freelancing for you? Okay, now I'm going to ask you, are you willing to be a freelancer? We have willingness and ability. The thing is, ability can be learned, right? So the two things to succeed in freelancing, the two things are, number one, your willingness, your determination, your attitude. That's your willingness. Second is the ability. We're going to talk about the ability here, but I need to ask you, are you prepared? Do you have that willingness? Maybe you don't have the ability right now, but do you at least have the willingness to become a freelancer? Right? Just answer that question real quick. Sorry about that. My screen sharing disappeared. What happened here? Give me one moment. Yeah. So, do you have the willingness to freelance? Okay, and let me. Sorry about that tech problem. And let me share my screen again. Okay, there we go. All right. Yes, the mindset. That's part of the willingness. The mindset is the mindset, the determination. Freelancing is being your own boss. Yes, yes. Well, if we go back here, Jennifer. Well, what people often say is the con in freelancing. They say stability, right? I'm not going to type that here anymore. But they say that freelancing is not stable. And what I always say is, I've been working in the call center, and we let people go a lot. Once you're fired, you're fired. But when you're a freelancer, you can have 2 clients, you can have 3 clients, you can have multiple clients. And if one client lets you go, you still have other clients, you still have other companies you're working with. And that's the beauty of freelancing. When it comes to stability, you can work with multiple clients, work with multiple companies at the same time, because most of the time you're not working full-time just for one company. Some people work full-time for multiple companies. Like Leah Futalan from her interview, if you watch that on Wednesday, she was working full-time with like 2 or 3 companies. But you don't need to do that. You can work part-time with multiple companies and be completely stable. All right. Okay, yes, very much willing, very much willing. Yes, yes, great, great. All right. So Jennifer and Sheila, let me know if you still have questions about that. And Camille, it's not a problem if you don't have enough experience yet. All right. But what's stronger, I'd say, where most people fail is not in their abilities, not in their skills, but in the willingness. They give up. Right. Now, being prepared to switch. Here we're going to talk about what you need to prepare to make the switch. Okay. And I'm just going to take some notes here for me to answer later. Okay. So being prepared to make the switch. Now, you should be prepared in different areas, in multiple areas. Oh, let me just get the comments here. All right, there. In multiple areas. So be financially prepared to make the switch. Be technically prepared to make the switch. Be mentally prepared, and being emotionally prepared. And we're going to go over these one by one. All right. First of all, financially prepared. You want to make sure that you are financially ready to make the switch. And not a lot of people talk about this. Not a lot of people talk about being financially prepared. But personally, I want to be more careful. and I want to be more careful when it comes to making decisions. So I want to be financially prepared, because the reality is in freelancing, on average, well, most people get hired within 1 to 2 months. Okay, most people, they will get hired. We've seen people get hired within 1 week, 2 weeks. We see some people get hired though within 6 months. So there is might be some time before you get hired. Once again, average is 1 to 2 months, but it can take up to 6 months. But those that do that work hard for those 6 months and then get hired for after 6 months, it really is worth it for them. Because after the 6 months, there are just so many benefits to freelancing, like we talked about earlier. You have the freedom of time. You can spend more time with your family. You have that personal growth. You can even earn a lot more money. Waiting the time of working hard for 6 months, so not having any clients, is worth it. And once again, for most people 1 to 2 months. Okay, for most people 1 to 2 months. But be prepared for the worst case scenarios. That's what I'm talking about here with being financially prepared. So what I would say is you should have an emergency fund. Okay, so how much money do you need? Now, an emergency fund is money set aside for unexpected events. Unexpected events meaning you don't get hired right away. You don't get hired in the first couple of months. And I'd say how much money you need in your emergency fund. Okay? And this fund, this fund is the money that will keep you alive during those times where you don't have clients yet. During those 1 month, 2 month, 3 months that you don't have clients yet, this emergency fund will sustain you. If you're a sole owner, I'd say your emergency fund is your monthly expenses times 6 months. 6 months is like it's an extreme case. Okay? Not getting hired for 6 months. Oh, there we go. You can see in the comments here again. Yeah. But I would have that emergency fund. And for me, it's very important to have an emergency fund. Okay. Now, second is being technically prepared. So I'd say you have to have a computer and you have to have internet. Internet being a DSL or a cable connection. Some people, if you watch the interviews, some people are able to get started just by starting in an internet cafe. They don't have to buy a laptop yet or a computer yet. They don't have internet at home. They go to an internet cafe, they look for jobs, and a lot of people succeed that way. But in the perfect scenario, you should have a computer and you should have internet. Okay, I'm not answering all the questions we're getting. We're getting a lot of questions in the comments. I'm taking note of some, and I guess Anna, if you can take note of some that I can answer later, let me know. If we have time, I'll answer them later, and if not, we'll answer them in a future session. Okay, yes, going back. So yes, being technically prepared, very important as well. Keep you alive. You want to stay alive for the times, it's for emergency, right? That's what you call an emergency fund. Emergency meaning you don't get hired, so that you're not panicking when you don't get hired in 1 to 2 months, right? Okay, next is being emotionally prepared. Now, being emotionally prepared, one reality is that surviving and persevering as a freelancer is tough, especially if you don't get hired right away. Okay? And most especially if you approach it with an employee mindset, an employee disposition or an employee mindset. If you're thinking like an employee, being a freelancer requires discipline, it requires perseverance, it requires consistency. And this is when you're shifting, okay? Because you're no longer an employee when you're a freelancer. You become an entrepreneur, you become a business owner. So having that mindset of discipline, of perseverance, of consistency, and making it through the tough times, that's important. And you should be prepared for that when you move into freelancing. So these are some questions that you should ask yourself. Earlier, when I asked you if you are willing to be a freelancer, if you have that will, you said yes. But ask yourself these questions. Do you have the dedication to keep doing the same thing every day and failing for 3 months? Will you keep doing the same thing? And of course, you're going to be learning. You're not just going to be failing, but you're going to be learning as well every day, and doing something for 3 months, and having the determination and dedication to keep doing it. And ask yourself this question: are you disciplined enough to work hard even though you don't have a manager or supervisor? And a lot of people aren't prepared for that. A lot of people, they're not prepared for taking care of themselves. They're not prepared for being responsible for their own work. When I started as a freelancer, I was I don't want to say lazy, but I was kind of lazy, and I would sleep and just watch TV a lot of the times, and it took me a while to really build the right habits. That even though I don't have a manager, even though I don't have a supervisor, I would still have the discipline to work hard. I'm going over the comments here. Ruth, I have laptop but no stable internet available in my area. I only use prepaid pocket Wi-Fi. That can work for a little bit. Ideally, you should have stable internet. Once again, in the perfect world, but we don't always have a perfect world, right? LJ started in an internet cafe. That's where your journey started as well. He's one of those. PLDT homebrew, Altera enough. It's okay, but it's better if you get DSLR cable. Carlo, I'm gonna answer this question later, okay? I'm just gonna copy paste this. Yes, good tips here. Good tips. Yeah, ask your kapitbahay. All right. Deborah, yes, no problem with me to fail, but I will try and try. And you should be prepared. A lot of people aren't prepared. They think, they go into online freelancing, it's easy money. They'll get hired right away. They'll earn 100,000 pesos and then live happily ever after. But life is not a fairy tale, right? It doesn't work that way. It's hard. It's tough. You have to have the dedication. You have to have the discipline. And even being your own boss, being your own supervisor is tough. And lastly here, are you disciplined enough to continuously improve yourself? That's right. Like Kevin's saying here, a lot of distractions, right? Watching YouTube, it's very distracting because once again, you don't have a manager, you don't have a supervisor. So sometimes you don't feel like working, and then you end up watching one video on YouTube, or you watch like one episode of Netflix, and then just another episode, another episode. That was cliffhanger, right? The ending of the episode's a cliffhanger, so you watch again, and then 8 hours later, oh no, I didn't do any work. It's been 8 hours. That happens. That happens to a lot of, I'd say, those who are new, those who aren't used to the discipline yet. You might fall into the trap. So before you even become a freelancer, you have to emotionally prepare yourself. Like Ria, I lose track. I need to regain my motivation and willingness to enter into the freelancing world. And it happens a lot. The willingness, the determination, the dedication is where a lot of people fail in. It's where a lot of people give up. But we have, from what we've seen, it really is determination. It's dedication that makes you succeed. Because even if you're the smartest person, even if you have the most skills, but you don't have dedication, you don't have determination, then you won't succeed in freelancing. But we see a lot of people who are not the smartest people. They're not the best in English, they're not the best in computers, but they have dedication, they have determination, and they are able to succeed. So being emotionally prepared is very, very important. Yes, Geraldine, willing to do things even if you fail several times. Very good. Responsible employee and pretty disciplined enough. I have a drive because I need it. We really need a drive. Is it okay if I corporate setting, employee jump right away into freelancing? Well, Tiger Lily, like I mentioned earlier, these are the things that you should prepare first. We talked about being financially prepared, being technically prepared, and now being emotionally prepared as well. Yep, discipline. Discipline is really important. Common failures that freelancers experience. Most freelancers, like look at the screen right now. Most new freelancers fail in these parts, in these areas. Once they learn the discipline, once they learn the dedication, that's when they succeed. But at the beginning, especially when you're new, you don't have the dedication yet. At least in my case, my when I started, I didn't really have the dedication right away, and it took me some time. And we see this a lot. People don't have the dedication, they don't have the discipline yet, and that's where they fail. Yes, you can just spend 4 hours a day freelancing. I've been waiting for this opportunity while it slipped in my hand. No plan for wasting money. Might help you invest in this course. Start managing my own time and schedule every day and loving it, enjoying it. Great, great. Eager to learn. And for those that, like if you're part of the bootcamp, we have the Hustle Challenge. Okay, we're gonna have that launched next week. The guided Hustle Challenge that will really help you building that discipline. So you need the discipline to succeed there. Okay, next we have mentally prepared. So what do we mean by mentally prepared? So do you have the skills to, oh, there's a typo there, to find freelance work or to find freelance work? Do you have the skills? Are you ready to sell yourself? Because it's not only about having the skills, it's also about marketing yourself and knowing how to sell yourself. Just like in a job interview, you usually have to sell yourself so that the employer will hire you. Here, very similar, you have to sell yourself so that companies will pay you for the service that you're providing to them. And my tips here are to take online tutorials and even enroll in online courses. Most people are not mentally prepared right away. Okay, and I left this for the last part because if you have the right emotions, if you're emotionally prepared, then preparing mentally is easier. It's going to be a lot easier. Once again, most people, they fail in being emotionally prepared, not mentally prepared. But if you're emotionally prepared, the mental preparedness is easier because you can learn skills. You can take online tutorials. You can enroll in online courses. There are a lot of free online tutorials like in YouTube, and there are a lot of free paid courses. Of course, I'm going to recommend, we have our own freevacourse.com. So we had a lot of people asking earlier, like how to get started in freelancing. What is freelancing? Go to this website, freevacourse.com, and it's our 5-day free course on how to get started working from home as a freelancer, okay, or as a virtual assistant. So head over to this website, freevacourse.com. And if you want to invest in the paid course, check out vabootcamp.ph. Okay. Let me check the comments here. I'm willing to learn in the field of freelancing. Great. Eras, I've been a freelancer for 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. I remember 2011. So 8 years now. 9 years soon. So yeah, 8 years. How to balance freelancing career? That's more of an advanced question. I'll just copy and paste that. Okay, I'll copy and paste that here for my notes later. All right, great. Emotionally, talo ako ng kids kasi sila man talaga kapag nasa bahay, yung discipline dapat pati kids at hobby kasali. Yeah, that's right. Like and we see that a lot where moms, they have problems because their kids, they want to play or they have certain needs, and the moms need to take care of the kids. It's hard to balance. It is hard to balance. And we're not covering that today specifically, but that's something you have to prepare for as well. Jennifer, hope makaya ko. Yes, we hope so too. We're here for you. Was there any replay? But there's no replay once again for this. There's no replay unless you're a VA bootcamp student. Balancing time, yes. How much the bootcamp? Check out the website. We have a couple of pricing options. Yay, June, proud student. Joanna, I love to enroll in the writing course. I think you, well, it's part of the VA Bootcamp Complete now. Graduate of the VA course, my mind's restless, having trouble sleeping. I was thinking when to get a job. Elaine joined the Hustle Challenge, which will start in August 1. You'll get a lot of guidance there. Finish the trading prepared program for us, like an OJT, where we get prepared to get hired. The Hustle Challenge, Carlo, once again, August 1. If you saw Holly posting earlier with that t-shirt. Yeah, for students, the Hustle Challenge will really help you out, okay? Being an upgrade, can I upgrade it as best felt? Yes, you can upgrade. May discipline them in a corporate world. The challenge disciplines of freelancing kasi you're your own boss. And see, like Jane, she had discipline in the corporate world, but it's a different challenge when you're your own boss, right? It's a totally different challenge. Geraldine, I agree. If you're emotionally prepared, it will help you find a way how to do things exactly and will prepare you mentally. Would want to mentally be prepared with your help. Yes, that's what we're here for, and that's what the slide is showing as well. Okay, if you want to know where to get started, check out the free VA course, Ken, freevacourse.com. Deborah, glad to help. Okay, so going back to the presentation, I can't read all the comments or else we won't finish, but going back to the presentation here, are you prepared? I'm asking you, are you prepared? Are you prepared financially? Are you prepared technically? Are you prepared emotionally? Are you prepared mentally? And maybe you can type in the comments, what area do you still need the most improvement in? Do you need to save more money for an emergency fund? Do you need to get a computer? Do you need to build up your discipline? Do you need to gain more skills to be mentally prepared? Right? I'm going to answer some of these questions later. Okay, I'm just taking note of them, like Shankar and Salasol. I'm just taking note of your questions for now. I'm going to get to them later. All right. Okay, yeah, so just type in the comments, like what area do you need the most help in? For those about asking the bootcamp, just visit the website. We won't cover that today too much. If someone's technically, emotionally, and mentally prepared but fail in financial preparedness, you won't advise freelance work for that person. Should all aspects be there for a person to start freelancing? Good question, Lisa. Of course, in a perfect world, you have to be prepared in all of these 4 aspects. But sometimes we don't live in a perfect world. Grace, it's for if you enrolled in the bootcamp, then you can join the Hustle Challenge. Mentally to gain skills, mentally to grow skills. Okay, need to work on emotional readiness. Great, very much interested. Great. Financially, mentally, not sure how to sell. I hope the VA Bootcamp can help you. It can definitely help you, and we're here to guide you. All areas, mentally, most mentally. Okay, more emotionally prepared. Yes, you really do have to be emotionally prepared and not become depressed, or it can get discouraging, but you have to have that perseverance to keep going. Save more for emergency fund preparedness. Okay, emotionally and mentally prepared. All right, now, and this is in connection with Lisa's question earlier. What to do when you're not 100% prepared? What are you going to do when you're not 100% prepared? Well, here's what I recommend. I'd recommend doing what we call a 2 shifts or double shifting. So what you can do is when you're still working in the office, you can start looking for freelance work on the side. Okay? While you're still doing your full-time work, after your work, on weekends, you can still look for freelance work. And this is how I started. Okay, I was prepared in all areas, but I wasn't ready to leave my job yet. A lot of people, they just leave their job, even though they didn't look for freelance work yet. And that can work as well. But if you're not fully prepared yet, my recommendation is to look for work on the side. Okay? Especially if you're not financially prepared yet, if you're not emotionally prepared yet, look for it on the side. Of course, this will take more energy from you because you're working full-time pa, and then after work, you have to do some freelance jobs, and then, or on weekends, you have to do freelance jobs. So it takes a lot of time and energy, but it's safer. It's safer if you go this way. Remember, in freelancing, finding the first client, that's the hardest part. Once you get great feedback, it gets much easier. So what I would really do is look for a couple of freelance jobs first, maybe a couple of projects, and then try to get feedback. Once you get 5-star feedback, like an Upwork or on different platforms, and you get experience, it will become much, much easier. And those that have freelance experience here, you know that, right? Once the first getting hired for the first time is the hardest, but once you have the first time, you already get some experience, you get feedback. The other times it gets easier and easier and easier. It's just the first time, the first 3 months, the first 2 months, the first 6 months for some people. That's the hardest part, and persevering and being emotionally prepared and disciplined for that part. But once you get that first client, that first project, that first job, it becomes so much easier. Don's about, you did the same, yeah, on the side, but it's very tiring. Right? You don't, I didn't have time to party, or I was working in the call center. I didn't have time to hang out and, man, after shift, because I was busy looking for freelance work on the side. Okay. Now, once you have your first stable client or a few projects, once again, it's much easier and it's much safer to consider quitting. Okay. And if you really can't take it anymore, like you're fed up in the office, I'd recommend working harder to get those few clients. Like if you say, okay, di mo na kaya, right? Like you're so fed up, you can't deal with office politics, you can't deal with your boss. I'd say that's just more motivation for you to get started looking for freelance projects on the side. If it's impossible to get clients while working, then you would really need an emergency fund. Now, one other alternative, like one of our students, what she did is that she took a 5-day leave. She took a 1-week leave from work just to focus on getting clients. And during that 1 week, I think she was able to get 2 clients. And then when she came back, she quit her job. So she shared in our students group, she went on leave, she found clients, and then she surprised her boss. When she came back, she had a resignation letter already, because she was able to get the clients. And she wasn't, when she was working, when she wasn't on leave, she wasn't able to find clients because she was so busy with work. So she really had to take the 5-day leave just to look for clients. I'm looking at the comments here. The same. I'm currently working full-time more than 5 years in bank assurance. I'm willing to learn and start as a part-time in freelancing. Yes. Great to hear. Kamel, feedback about, are you talking about the hustle challenge, Kamel? You'll get feedback on your cover letters and your proposals. This is also my question, since there's an expiration in order section, something like that. Kevin, shoot me an email, or if you can PM me later, because it's not in connection with the presentation. I need to be financially prepared, waiting for this part. I told my hubby when I get my first projects freelancing, we'll submit my resignation. Yeah, it's always the first one that's the hardest. Still working full time, and like one of the students did, she had to take that leave, that 5-day leave, which was 1 week, because you have Saturday and Sunday, so she had 9 days off of work, and that's when she was looking. That's when she got her clients. Just wondering, how much does a newbie usually earn in a month on average based on testimonials? Though I know that would depend on the person that is hardworking. I'd say it's easy to earn 20,000. Like it's very easy to earn 20,000 your first month, and then some earn less. I'd say some, like the lowest is probably like 12,000-15,000 pesos the first month, but 20, 30 it's easy to reach. Others, after the first few months, they can reach 50 or 100,000 in earnings. Ayun na, 1 week leave. Alam na this. Tuloy-tuloy lang po ba yung Hustle Challenge starting August or nagko-close? So we're gonna do for August. It's a 1 month challenge, and you should be there every day. And then we're not sure when we're gonna do it again, but be there for the August challenge. Japs, maybe you want to post that in Flip. Do you need set up Upwork? And that's maybe best for newbies. Then maybe I'll answer this later. Let me copy and paste this as well and put it in my notes here. All right, okay. Now, here, this is also another important thing for you guys. How should you quit? Okay, because some people make a mistake in how they should quit. So first of all, I say give at least 1 month notice. Or if you do work that's very sensitive, sometimes you should give more notice. And this is for them to find a replacement for you. If you work in a call center and you're doing customer service or sales work, a lot of the times it doesn't really matter. Some companies even allow just 2 week notice. Depends on the company, but in most cases, 1 month notice is a good rule. And you don't need to explain why you're quitting. You can just say, you're starting an online business or something, but you don't need to explain, because what happens is a lot of people will say, well, they'll try to discourage you and say, baka scam naman yan, or hindi naman yung totoo, diba? Babalik ka lang, diba? Or MLM, that happens a lot. So you don't really need to explain yourself when you quit. Here we go. That's the second bullet point here. Next is be professional. So don't be emotional. Don't be complaining when you quit. Say, yeah, I quit. You're a horrible boss, and you say bad things. Don't do that, because it's really important to leave a good impression. And I'd say, do your best during your last few weeks. What a lot of people do is they do their worst. They don't come into work. They don't perform. But I'd say do your best during the last few weeks, because you always want to be open to future relationships. In the worst case scenario, the absolute worst case scenario, where everything fails, like I always want to be safe. Okay, I can say I prepared for the worst case scenario when I quit, but I never, my thinking was that if this fails, I will go back to the call center and apply again. But I never had to do that, and for most people, it doesn't happen. But you always want to have that plan, like plan B or plan C or plan D, where if everything fails, if your freelancing fails, or if your business fails, you always have good relationships with like your company, with the people you left, with your previous boss. Like if you need to come back, that's always like the worst case scenario, but always keep that open. And future relationships, future connections can really help you. You never know, down the line, in the future, maybe they'll become a freelancer, you'll work with them again, or they'll come to you for help. Always leave a good impression, always be professional. I remember there was somebody who quit in the call center before, and then they made a scene, and they were complaining about their office mates, and it just is very unprofessional. So don't do that. Okay, that's my recommendation for you. Okay, we have like 2 minutes left according to time, but we're gonna go in overtime for a little bit. Just to recap here, focus on your big why. Always remind yourself what is really driving you to make a switch, and this will really help you be emotionally prepared. Focusing on your big why. Is it to take care of your kids, spend more time with your family, to help out your husband or your wife, to go home back to the Philippines? Always remember your big why. It should always be reminding you and driving you to succeed in freelancing. Be prepared in the different areas. Be prepared financially, technically, emotionally, and mentally. Be prepared in these multiple areas. In each of these areas. Financially, have an emergency fund, 6 months optimally, but some people, they just have 3 months emergency fund and they're okay with that. Technically, a laptop and internet are what I would recommend. Some people are able to succeed without that. Emotionally prepared, have the discipline, and be prepared for the worst case scenarios that you want, so that you don't get depressed mentally. Start learning the skills for you to get hired. Have an emergency fund, repeated there, very important. You can start work even though you're working in the office. You can start looking for freelance work and do it on the side after shift on weekends. And always leave a good impression when you quit, or when you plan to quit. Now, if you're financially ready, the VA Bootcamp, it teaches you the skills you need to get your first job online. Like, we teach you the skills you need to learn. We have a community to support you in your journey, and we have some students here who can really, attest that the community is very strong. You really learn the skills. We teach you the skills that you need, and it's very basic, so that even though you're not very good in computers, you can still learn the skills. And we have a lot of guides. You get your question answered and more. It's over at vabootcamp.ph. So if you want to check that out, check it out over on vabootcamp.ph. You can start the lowest to start. We have an installment plan. It starts at 2,990 pesos. Okay, so 2,990, you can get started. And this is just to give you an overview. We have in-depth skill tutorials and data entry, transcription, email management, internet research, office applications, social media management, schedule management, website updates, e-commerce management. And if you enroll in the complete package, you get SEO, web design, email marketing, content writing, bookkeeping, Facebook advertising, and we're releasing more courses as well to add to this. All right. So check it out at vabootcamp.ph. It's that last line there, vabootcamp.ph. Oh, and here's a screenshot of our support group, our chat room. This is exclusive for students. We have a chat room where students ask their questions and we answer them. So we have a very, very strong support group. I'm very proud of our team, our support team, and of the students who help each other out. So you have that support from other people as well. Okay, let me go in the comments here. Let me let's see, put about 1 Mbps. I'd say better if you could, to start, puede, but I would say try to get, well, of course, like if you can get 10, 15, that's very nice, but 1 Mbps is a bit slow. As soon as you can upgrade, I would upgrade. Been testing the waters in part-time freelancing for 2 years. When I had my first long-term client this June, I finally had the confidence to hand over my resignation. I'm really happy for you, Jane. I remember when you first started out with us, and you were hesitant, but now you're finally taking that plunge. 1 week leave to do just that, like mine did. Yeah, so you're doing the same thing. 60 days notice. Wow. Yes, always make a good impression. Don't burn bridges. Lisa, wait, I'll answer this later. Let me copy and paste this question. Okay, Ria, this webinar is very timely. I really need to hear those words at the moment. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Yes, you can do that at the same time still in corporate. I love VA Bootcamp. Thank you, Regina. Until you're fully equipped to become a VA. With a free VA course, can you somehow get started already? Yes, you can. Of course, the VA Bootcamp, the paid course, has the in-depth stuff, but you can get started with a free course. Future classmates and future classmates. Yes, I'm happy to be one of the students. Great. Okay, great. Okay. All right. Well, we're a bit over the time, but I do want to leave you with this message, okay? And this is for everybody here. When you're thinking of making the switch, I want to remind you that the past is done and gone. You can't change anything. You can't change the past anymore. But what you do in the present is going to determine your future, and your future is your responsibility. The past is gone. You can't change that anymore. What you can do is you can make changes in the present. You can prepare yourself to improve your situation, to improve your life, because the future is your responsibility. What happens in the future is going to be based on what you do today. So do the right things today. Okay, prepare yourself, start learning, start preparing yourself emotionally, financially, mentally, and technically, because that will determine your future. Because your future is in your hands, it really is your responsibility. All right. Well, thanks and good night. Let me answer some questions here. I'm not going to say goodbye yet. I'll answer a few questions. I'm going to drink first. Oh. Okay. We have a few questions here, and let me just turn off. Let me stop the share here. Okay. Where were the questions? Questions. Here we go. The questions that I parked earlier. How to get over the fear? How to get out of the comfort zone? One thing that I've told a lot of people before is that you'll always be scared. You will always be scared. And courage, you have to have courage. But courage, it's not, what's the exact quote? I forgot what the exact quote is. But what I'd say courage is, it's not the absence of fear. Because fear will always be there. But courage is acting, is facing the fear and acting. Even though you're scared, you still push forward. That's what courage is, because the fear will never go away. You will always have fear, but I'm going to tell you, you should have courage. And courage means, even though you have fear, going forward. Because if you don't have any fears, then you're crazy, right? That's crazy people. That's what they're not scared of anything. So you're not crazy. If you're scared, that means you're not crazy. Not yet. Okay. Carlo Mateo, what is the guarantee that I will get hired after I undergo the training? There is no guarantee that you will get hired, because it really depends on you. We do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you say, you know what, this isn't for me, then you can get your money back if you request it within 30 days. Okay. Nothing, you can try it out and say, I don't want this. Then you can get your money back. But it really is your responsibility. Like I mentioned, your future is your responsibility. So we can't guarantee that. What I can guarantee is that if you do the actions that we teach, if you consistently apply the stuff that we teach, then you will have a great chance of getting hired. Everyone who does what we teach consistently, especially if you join the Hustle Challenge. The Hustle Challenge is it's like our it's like our challenge. It's like our guided actions that we tell people to do every day for them to get hired. So especially if you join the Hustle Challenge and you do the Hustle Challenge, okay, and you do what we tell people to do every day, it's hard work. But if you do it every day, so far everyone who's done it has gotten hired, 100%. Those who haven't gotten hired are the ones who were too lazy, who didn't do the stuff that we told them to do every day, or they quit. A lot of them quit, or they get tired. Josie Panopio, how to balance freelancing career at the same time taking care of kids. That's a different scenario altogether. I might have another session about time management, but that's difficult to answer right now. Shankar, how much time can we spend for freelancing work? It's up to you, really. You can spend 1 hour a day, you can spend 4 hours a day, you can spend 10 hours a day. It's up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with. And that's what's great about freelancing. If you want to spend more time with your family, with your kids, with your spouse, you can just work 3 hours, 4 hours a day. That's fine. If you're single and maybe you don't have a family, you don't really want to hang out with your friends, you don't want to watch TV or have fun, but you just want to earn a lot of money, you can spend 16 hours a day working. That's fine. It's up to you. How can you build confidence so that you can sell yourself? Sell us all. I'd say that, once again, you'll always have the fear, but in the bootcamp, we teach you best practices for selling yourself. We have some scripts, some guidelines on how you can sell yourself better. So we have that in the bootcamp. If you're a student, you'll see that. Okay? But you'll always be scared no matter what. If you don't enroll in the bootcamp, try Googling, marketing yourself as a freelancer. There are a lot of guides out there as well that you can find for free. But of course, we have some guidance in the bootcamp. Dan Ali Pro, do we need to set up Upwork? I would recommend setting up Upwork. And there are a lot of other platforms. We have a list of like 50 platforms in Flip. I'd say like freelancer.com, onlinejobs.ph, Hubstaff Talent, FreeUp. Those are the main ones. Lisa Austria, may horrible boss rin naman sa freelance world, diba? Yes, there are horrible bosses, but the great thing is you can let go of your boss. You can let go of your clients or horrible clients, horrible companies. You can let go of them and look for others. Unlike like if you're working in an office, it's much harder to quit. If you have a horrible boss, I've had a horrible boss before who would shout and swear at me. Well, not just me, but the whole team. And it's a lot harder. Whereas if you're freelancing, usually you have like 2, 3, 4, or some people have even 10 clients that they're working with. So they can just, one of them is bad, it's fine, just let go, fire them. Okay. All right, let me just, that was a lot. Let me look at the comments here. Hope I can attend the VA bootcamp soon. Yes, that would be great if you could. Very timely. You're welcome, Diana. You're welcome. You're welcome, H. Marie. You're welcome, guys. I'm glad you liked this. I'm glad you liked this session. Let me just scroll down here. Get out of your comfort zone. Yep. Resigned 2 weeks ago. All right. Congratulations. You're making that shift. And I realized, Kulang Carrie, I wasn't prepared in all aspects. Survived and thrived with the help of the VA Bootcamp. Oh, thank you. We were able to help you, even though you weren't prepared in all aspects. Yeah, a lot of people aren't prepared in all aspects, and it's not always a perfect world. Thank you, Sir Jason, waiting for my laptop before joining the bootcamp. And we have a blog post about a guide for buying laptops. We're going to release a new blog post, I think next Thursday, about that. So stay tuned. Or I'm not sure when it's going to be released. It's still being written by our content team. Hustle Challenge is like an accountability buddy who will really push you to do the actions for you to get hired. Complacent people are mostly quitters. Yeah, or people get tired, and I'm not gonna blame them, because in the past I've gotten tired too. I've also quit at times, so I understand that things can get tiring. So we're not perfect people, we make mistakes, so it's fine. But the hustle challenge is there to help you out. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice. Very good. I like that quote. Yeah. So like Beth said, the capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill, but the willingness to learn is a choice. So you have to make that choice. Aini, you're welcome. You're welcome. I have Upwork, but not yet approved. We can post that in Flip. While taking the bootcamp, I just realized I have those skills and already doing it. Just need to develop a joke ko yung race director namin. Sabi ko, you better pay me kasi I'm doing the task of social media manager. So thankful to you're very welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Aponi. I still have 30 connects. Yeah, quality over quantity. Very much quality first. Instant approval from Upwork after watching the VA Bootcamp modules. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Judith. You're welcome, Tina. Lanny, you're welcome. Deshelle, you're welcome. You're welcome. Mary, will it be 100% that you will get hired if you enroll in the bootcamp? If you do the stuff that we teach you to do, because if you enroll in the bootcamp and you don't do the stuff that we ask you to do, then of course you're not going to get hired. But so far, we have everyone that's done the stuff, that's joined the Hustle Challenge, and has done the stuff that we ask them to do every day, has gotten hired 100%. So it depends on you. It's still in your hands, right? Anne answered it. There will always be risks, sir. No guarantee. Even applying in corporate job, there's always a risk, no matter what. And greater risk, greater reward. That's always a rule in life. Right? All right. So it looks like we covered everything. If you want to check out, well, let me just share screen here. Well, where was that screen? Okay, yeah, there we go. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for attending. If you have additional questions, you can send a message to this Facebook page, Work from Home Roadmap. I mean, if you send me a message, I get a lot of messages, so I might not be able to reply, but we do have a support team. If you have any follow-up questions, send a message to Work from Home Roadmap. We have a support team that will be there to help you out. They have weekends off though, so well, Saturday we have I think we have somebody working tomorrow, but just light load. So send a message to Work from Home Roadmap if you have any follow-up questions, or you can shoot me an email, jason@vabootcamp.ph. Because if you can send me a message also, but I can't assure that I can reply because I get a lot of messages. And if you want to learn more about freelancing, if you don't have any idea about freelancing, please go to freevacourse.com. Okay, head over to freevacourse.com. And if you want to check out our paid course, check out the vabootcamp.ph. Again, if this doesn't have any replays, this is like an exclusive webinar for students. So there are no replays, but if you're a VA Bootcamp student, you will have access to this replay. All right, thank you so much, guys. You have a good evening. Have a good night. Goodbye, everybody. Where is the end button? Oh, the button disappeared. Oh no, I can't end it. Wait, where's the end button? Okay.